What's up, guys? It is Black John Crypto, and today I want to go over breeding and kind of getting yourself started in breeding. First thing I want to show off is Axie Legends here. This is a very helpful tool to kind of really pick your genetics and also your recessives. For most breeding, you don't want to breed anything that's under 97%. If we're trying to breed into pure genetic, there is exceptions to this rule, and it depends on what we're breeding. I'm actually going to be showing the exception now, which is going to be a leaf bug tank. So the first thing I want to show off is you a pumpkin, serious, leaf bug, and then you're fine with either tail being yam or hot butt. Personally, I think hot butt is better, but some people like either yam or hot butt. These are like your printer breeders that you're going to want. You're going to want it to be almost 97% pure. In this case, it doesn't matter its pureness, but we're going to want its recessives to be its R2 to be the same recessives, and then you want to get as close as you can to all R3s being the same. That is how you get yourself a printer to start off with breeding. So let's go to the advanced and let's go to our recessives. We've already copied them. And then for here, if you want to copy it again and you want to make it the exact same, so we have no chance of rolling anything bad, you can do that as well. You want to come over here and turn the basic from breeding to 0. This one here is actually pretty decent, but the thing it has Scar in its R2. You have a chance of rolling Sandal, which you wouldn't mind. Wall Gecko, which is not great, but Goda as well is pretty good. So I would say this one is not the worst breeder if you want to pick this up as a breeder. But you're going to want to keep looking and maybe try to find something better. We don't want one with Little Owl, and the reason why is we don't want the extra speed. We want it to be 31 speed, and that's why this one's okay, because it has a larva, and it doesn't actually give it boosted speed. But here, with Little Owl, it's going to give you boosted speed. But across the board, it's actually a pretty good setup, with the only chances of you rolling into Garish Worm in its R2. This one's also not very bad. Let's keep looking and see if we can find ones that are a little bit better. So we don't want the Frenzy one. Yeah, this is a super, super helpful tool. If you have not seen it before, Axie Legends is great. I'll have the link down in the description below, so you guys can actually check it out yourself. So again, not great because of curved spine. That one that was actually the lowest was actually pretty decent. And the nice thing here is if you want to pull it up, we can just click on it and it will take us right to the page. And then we can just buy it right off the marketplace. And you can see it has its recessives and the same thing here. Also, if you don't have Axie or Freaks Axie extension, this is a super helpful extension for breeding. Probably one of the extensions that you need if you don't already have it. Then next thing I want to show off is the breeding calculator. The breeding calculator, it depends on how much you want to breed. This here, you can actually put your cost of your parents and how many times you want to breed something. This way you can figure out the cost and if it's going to be profitable. So let's say we were breeding these leaf bug tanks and we picked up the parent for, let's say, 0.06. 0.06 is our first initial cost for 0.02. And then we're picking up the next one, which was 0.07. Let's put these as our initial breeding cost. Then let's go to the marketplace and kind of see what a bred out one looks like and what the price is. This will give us a general idea of kind of like if we get absolutely screwed, what the cost will look like and how many times you actually want to breed something. So let's go yam. Serious here. The 0.05 is the floor, which means the floor is not that much worse. The floor is actually pretty close. I would say this one's actually the floor, the one at 0.061. Yeah, the one at 0.061 is actually the floor, so you're not really losing that much off a breed. So let's say we're selling it for 0.061, 0.061 for the resale of the parents. And then now it depends on how much the children are worth. So let's say we sell the children at 0.05 just to be safe all across the board. 0.06. 0.05, you can see that this breed is not profitable. If you go down to 3 breeds, it's still not profitable. So you can see like this one would not be a good breeder and not something you want to breed yourself. This is also showing you as like the worst of the worst, right? If we end up getting 3 that are worth 0.06 across the board, we are into profit, and even for a 4 breed, it may still be profitable. No. So 4-breed wouldn't be profitable. So you'd want to actually 3-breed these if you want a little bit of profit. There is definitely more things you can breed and a lot of different things to look at. And remember, the better of a printer it is, the more expensive it's going to be. Let me show you birds as well. And this will give you kind of the general idea of the pureness you want to pure across the board. So if you were looking for a double talk bird, so we want double talk, wanted eggshell, we want pigeon post, and we want bow shots. This would be our basic setup for our bird. We then want to clear out the recessives here. And we want to make it so it's a copy of the dominant. We want to go to 0 breed. Again, you can see the floor right now is 0.0. We want it to be minimum speed. We want it to be 60. Put the speed up to. We're only looking for pure birds that have the speed. So here is not too bad. It has pagoda and it's R1. We don't really want anything that slows us down in R1. We're totally fine getting gyro here. And the reason why we're fine getting gyro is because it actually doesn't slow us down at all and still retains its value. But anything that slows us down loses value instantly. So again, not really what we're looking for here. I'd say this is probably the first decent one. Remember, you have a chance of rolling into Toothless, Dual Blades, and Snake Jar. I would say both Toothless and Dual Blades are not the worst thing to roll into. If you want to get perfect double talk, you're going to want the R2s to be good as well. This may say it's a 33 or a 93%, but I think the purity is actually higher because if we think about Gil as a 3% chance, I consider it the same thing as being a bird part. So you're not really losing that much in this situation. So say this is a pretty decent breeder for 0.097. And the only thing I don't really like about this is a Snake Jar. So for me, I would say this is like a 98%. And the reason why it's a 98% is because Toothless as well is not the greatest thing in the world. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. So again, this one is a 98%, and this one is a legit 98% because of Toothless and Bookworm. So these two here, you could breed together. Let's do the same thing, cover the breeding cost. Let's say 0.097. And it was 0.012. And then let's go look at the price of them without being bred, with them being bred out. Remember, the thing you want to do when it comes to breeding, you want to actually buy the parents and then you want to resell them right away. You don't actually want to hold on to your parents. Eggshell. Double talk. And we're going to go here and we're going to make it well. So the floor that we're going to be selling ours at are 0.072. You're taking a pretty big hit on your first two parents. Taking a pretty big hit on your first two parents. So let's go to 0.72. This is the absolute floor of them. And then if we think about it, let's say we're going to have 3 good children and we're going to have 1 bad child. Usually that's like your kind of average unless you're picking up 200%ers. Our estimated here is, let's say 0.0, let's just say 0.09 is our estimated. And then let's say we're picking up 1 that's going to be floor price, 0.05. So it's $52 is our estimated profit. But let's say we did it 4 breeds and we bred it for 0.09. So it's actually more profitable to 4 breed than it is to 3 breed. But let's say we didn't end up getting anything bad and they all ended up pretty decent, 0.06. So this is kind of like a general guide on how to breed and then kind of what you want to be doing. There's also one other helpful tool that I like myself. It is the Axie zone over here. You can actually go to the breeding simulator and you can run the sims on the Axies themselves. Let's grab the 2 that we were actually looking at and let's run the sims real quick. This one here, and it was this one. And then you can also make it so you can see the advanced mode, which will show you the recessives as well when it breeds. Remember, there's a chance that you're always going to roll into bad recessives. There's a 25% chance you get 1 mutation, and there's a 50% chance you get 2 or more mutations. So let's breed it 4 times. Let's see what we got. We actually got 4 pretty decent ones, and this dual blade one actually may have some insane value, and you may have rolled into more money with this dual blades one. This one has perfect genetics across the board. This one has a little bit worse. So we're saying these 2 are the ones that would be reselling for 0.1, while this one sells for probably 0.0, let's say 0.06 or 0.07, which is even still low, because if you looked at it here, the cost of a parent that is bred out is 0.07. Well, let's just put this one at 0.07, and it came out as like our worst. And then we got one with the dual blades. So let me actually look up the dual blades, kind of give us a floor general cost on this. Dual blades, post shots, pigeon post, and double talk. The current floor for this Axie is 0.07, and this is with no, or this is where it's already bred out. And we want one that is actually 59 speed, so let's go to 59 speed. So for 59 speed, it's 0.078, so it's not actually that great. Not that great. So we'll just say we didn't end up making that much off of this one, and it only equal to 0.7. So still, you're making a little bit of profit. This is kind of like a general idea for breeding. If you want to get into more advanced breeding and trying to mix and match Axies, it's going to be a lot of risk versus reward. I'd say to go the safer route. Find 2 Axies that are near pure that people are still looking at as valuable and still wanting to buy. I wouldn't go into anything that's super crazy at the moment with the market being down and the way it is, because we're in the off season and maybe major changes are coming. I hope this gives you a general idea into breeding. And if you like, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.